Hey, what goes on, guys? We're back here again with another video, and today we're finally going to be taking a look at my custom Crimson Chin. Now, I did a couple videos back. I did a review on the Superman the Animated Series Black Suit Superman, or whatever they were calling that, and the Superman the Animated Series The Flash. I kind of took apart both of those figures. I didn't really take the Flash apart. I kind of just repurposed him, as you can see here. And I've always wanted a Crimson Chin in my collection, but I don't think that's something we're ever going to be getting anytime soon by any company. I could be completely wrong. I feel like Super 7 would do this. I mean, they have the SpongeBob license, and they did Ren and Stimpy, so it seems like they have Nickelodeon. Be pretty cool, but Butch Hartman's kind of a interesting character, so I don't think that he would be willing to put out his license like that. But you know, I'm a big fan of his stuff. It's no shade to him. I just know he doesn't like to put out his artwork like that. He likes to franchise his own artwork, which is respectable. I'm just saying it would be really cool to get an actual Crimson Chin. But I think for now, I think I satisfied myself in the sense of making this. So I'm going to go ahead and run through, should get a closer look on this guy, show you guys what I did, and hopefully inspire somebody else to do something even better than mine, because this isn't by any means the perfect Crimson Chin figure. I know somebody out there can do better, but for my purposes and my likings, I'm very proud and happy with what I came up, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this guy. So starting off at the head is where I like it the most and hate it the most. It is really rough, which kind of sucks. I would like to re-sculpt the face, kind of sand it down, flatten it out, and then paint over it. But I think for the time being, it looks really good, or good enough, I guess. I did the black lining across the face, so like on the bottom of the chin it's all black, and then on the side you can see that there. And I also did highlighting, which was a kind of a last minute thing, but it actually worked out really nice. On the face you can see I kind of just painted the mouth on with the eyes and his weird like mask thing. The fin I took from another, like, this weird cat thing that came with an April O'Neil that I was using for a custom from Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Cut that up, glued the fin on top, boom, looks good. In the chin I just got the sculpty clay, air dry clay. Probably could use something better, but this works good enough for me. So boom, put that on there, chiseled it out, you know, get it, chiseled jaw, because he's the chin, but painted the C. I'm actually kind of proud of myself. That was one take, it was just C, and it looks good for the chin. I never really noticed that he didn't have a logo on his chest, that his logo was on his chin, which, I mean, for the Crimson Chin, that makes sense, but it's a cool little thing. Going down into the body, I re-sculpted the pecs and the abs on this guy. So the Flash did not have this. I didn't sculpt the abs I wanted to, but that would have been a lot, and it would have taken away from articulation. So I didn't want to do that, but I did re-sculpt the chest, and I think it turned out really nice and seamless, especially with the black paint added. And I re-sculpted the forearms. I cut out all the lightning bolts on the belt and the forearms, and then put some clay over it to smooth it out. You can kind of see the edge of the clay in some spots on the thighs, which we'll get to in a second. You see it more, but for the most part, I think it looks pretty good. It also adds some muscle to him because, you know, he is the Crimson Chin, and he needs a little bit more muscle. I thought about sculpting a butt, because I don't know what it is, but this guy doesn't have a butt, but I kind of just skipped over that. I painted the black paneling all over the body, as you can see. I don't know what happened there. I guess I got to touch that up with black a little bit, but you know, obviously with the articulation doesn't look too bad. So you can see it there. I think it looks really nice. I kind of tried to follow the art as best as I could, but I took some creative liberties. He doesn't really have a turnaround on Google, so I kind of like filled in what I would think would be there. So like on the spinal column, the scapula, like his shoulder blades, the shoulders, the elbows, the backs of the quads. I forget what the trapezius, I believe. No, I forget my muscle groups, but I sculpted over the thighs because he's supposed to have big, meaty thighs, and I wanted to represent that. So I did. It's smooth in most places, but on the back you can kind of see a little bit where the clay is over, but it doesn't bother me personally. Plus, where I ended it, it doesn't really get in the way of articulation, which I'm going to go over at the end. But on the side, you can see the paneling and then the highlights. So I think it looks really, I like the way that the legs turned out. Now, this is where the most work took place. I actually bought a black Tom Cassidy for $5 at GameStop because nobody wanted that figure. It's such a shitty figure. But I cut the Flash's legs off at the boots because it was molded in yellow boots. I took them off, shaved down Black Tom Cassidy's legs, cut them off, glued them on, sculpted over some thick, meaty calves, which I painted on the back. You can see the calf muscles there. And now he has Marvel Legends style legs and articulation, which is so much better than the ball joints that DC uses. or the multiverse uses. I was originally going to take an animated series Superman and do the same thing, but it would just have been less work to sculpt over it. But I was like, you know what? I'm sculpting the thighs, the chest, the chin, the arms, the head anyway, so why not go the extra mile, go ahead and just get the legs that I would want on this guy. And I'm so happy that I did that. The fact that I can have just ankle pivot instead of like that weird ball joint thing is really nice. I mean, he stands super easy. So I'm happy that I did that. So yeah, I mean, if you look at a picture of the Crimson Chin online, this is what he looks like when it comes to his paneling. Could I have made the chin maybe a little bit bigger? Yeah, but for the sake of articulation and for the sake of not driving myself nuts, redoing the chin about 4 times, maybe even more, I thought I'd just cut my losses and leave it what it's at. And I don't regret that at all, to be completely honest with you. So let's go ahead and compare him just to 2 figures. I'm not even going to edit it. I'm just going to bring them in here. I want to bring in a Marvel Legends Captain America and a DC Multiverse Custom Superman. So there they are again. They're back together again. Obviously different from the last time that they met, but they are here nonetheless. Now, I think it has to do... Why is he not standing? I guess it has to do with cutting out the legs, but he is not in scale with DC Multiverse anymore, which is kind of interesting. I didn't realize I cut off that much leg, but I guess that's the way it is. And now he's more in scale with Marvel Legends. He's actually almost in perfect scale with Marvel Legends. So if you want a Crimson Chin on your Avengers, there you go. You might want to use this. But honestly, it's not terrible with the DC Multiverse. So I think I actually went ahead and did like a good mix of the two. So I like the way that looks. The angle's a little bit different, but in person, he's a little bit closer to the Superman than it seems on camera. But he is here and he looks good together with these other figures. And I'm really happy with that because I can kind of put him where I want now. I mean, I'm not going to put him with either one of these displays, to be completely honest with you guys. He'll be like in my miscellaneous comic book shelf, but it's still cool to see that he would work if I wanted to. So, as promised, I'm going to go ahead and show you and prove to you guys that the articulation all still works on this guy. So, the head is going to look up pretty far. I mean, that's as far as the Flash head looked up. Go check out that review if you have not already. You still get some good pivot, and it rotates 360 all the way around. It was a little tight on the Flash to begin with, so it's not just this. The shoulders are going to move up that far, down that far. They will still rotate 360, and I still have a bicep swivel with a single jointed elbow that moves into a 90, and the wrist swivel and hinge. You know, you get the ball joint or whatever. So, you know how the McFarlane ball joints work. The abs are going to, I guess the torso is going to move that far, that far. He's going to crunch forward really good, and he's going to arc back really nice, and I got the paint all the way through there. I got to touch up that a little bit, but that's honestly not that big a deal. We'll touch that up right after the video. Also got to touch up on the pelvis there a little bit too. The hips are going to move outwards the same amount that they did before. They're going to kick forward that far, maybe a little bit less with the thigh there, but enough for me. Back, you do get a little bit of pivot because it is on a ball joint, unlike the other DC Multiverse figures. Still great double jointed knees. Maybe a little bit of paint chipping, but that doesn't bother me. Still kicks his own ass. The ankles are going to move down all the way. They're going to move up relatively far, and they're going to pivot. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that works for the Crimson Chin. I really think having an articulated Crimson Chin like this is awesome. So, seeing as though the articulation still works really good on this guy, I don't really have any complaints. I mean, obviously, DC Multiverse in general, I wish had thigh swivel, but it's honestly not that big a deal, so it works for me. So, do I consider this figure a success? If you couldn't tell, yes. It's the best custom I've ever done. I haven't shown all my customs on the channel yet. I want to get to it. I've done a couple other cool things, but there's still some work in progress with it, and I don't really have the time or the resources to do that right now. I actually don't even know how I managed to get this guy done so fast. I had 2 exams this week, so yeah, I've been a little bit busy, but this has been my stress reliever, and I'm very happy with how smooth this went. I really didn't have any issues going through it, and I hope that I inspire somebody else to go ahead and make one, because Who doesn't love the Crimson Chin? That's his theme song in The Fairly Odd Parents, if you don't know. But I think it turned out really good. If I was to rate myself, and not like in a, I did a fantastic job, you guys should all praise me. No, I would probably give myself an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I am really happy with it, so that's why it's so high. But there are things that I would like to do differently looking back. I wish I did the face a little bit differently because it does look a little bit weird at certain angles. Overall, it's fine. And I wish I did the ankles a little bit better than I did before. Smooth out the clay a little bit. Just little nitpicky shit here and there. Overall, still very happy with it, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. But I think that's all I got for today. So let me know if you guys are going to try this. I would really be interested to see what some people cook up. Text me on Instagram, DM me. I would love to see if you guys do something like this. Let me know your thoughts. Tell me how I did. Rate me from 1 to 10. What would you give me if you saw this? You can be honest. You can tell me it's shit. You can tell me it's the best thing you've ever seen. Let me know. I would like to really know. But I think that's all I got for today. So please do yourself and me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys are thinking. When we get to 300 subscribers, we will be doing a giveaway. I will not be giving away this, so don't even ask. But we will be giving away something nonetheless. And I'm really looking forward to that. So that's all I got for today. Go follow me on Instagram, you nerds. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.